This is going to be the best video on the internet if you consider buying any A-series device Samsung dropped in 2025. After spending months with every single one of these devices, from the A06 all the way up to the Galaxy A56, I can tell you that Samsung made some really interesting choices this year. If I were you, I'd watch carefully, not skipping any parts of this video because they build on each other. And by the end of this video, I'll reveal which two smartphones from the entire A-series devices deserve your money. And so without taking much of your time, yo guys, let's get started. Now let's kick things off with the Galaxy A06. Basically, this is Samsung's we need an entry-level smartphone offering. At around 170,000 Naira or $106, this is the cheapest way to get into Samsung ecosystem in 2025. The A06 is functional, and that's really the best word for it. You get a massive 6.7-inch LCD display. Yes, LCD and not AMOLED, running at 90 Hz. You also get the MediaTek G85 chipset, and this is the same chipset on the Galaxy A05 from last year, so performance is pretty much identical. We're talking basic smartphone tasks only. The cameras on here, you get a 50 megapixel main sensor and a 2 megapixel depth sensor on the back. Up front is an 8 megapixel sensor. So this is the same setup as last year from the A05, and in good lighting you get usable photos for social media, but don't expect miracles. The videos on here cap at 1080p. Now here's what has improved on this device. You now get a side-mounted fingerprint scanner, thank goodness, and the design on here feels about the same actually as the A05. But honestly, if you're considering the Galaxy A06, I'd seriously suggest saving up a bit more for the Galaxy A16. The difference in experience is night and day. So this device is just the A05 with a fingerprint scanner. So who is this device for? Maybe a first-time phone for a young child, or if you literally just need something that makes calls or runs WhatsApp, then maybe this device is for you. But for everyone else, keep watching. Now this is where things get interesting. The Galaxy A16 5G at 270,000 Naira or $160 feels like a completely different device or completely different class of device compared to the Galaxy A06. The first major upgrade here would be the 6.7-inch Super AMOLED display with 90 Hz refresh rate, so AMOLED here. We're talking about deep blacks, vibrant colors, and smooth scrolling. It's like going from maybe watching YouTube on an old TV to a modern one. Performance gets a boost too with the MediaTek Dimensity 6300 or the Exynos 1330 depending on your region. Still not a powerhouse, but definitely more capable than the Galaxy A06. You can actually multitask without wanting to throw this phone across the room. The camera setup with this device includes a 5 megapixel ultra wide alongside a 50 megapixel main sensor, and honestly for the price, it's pretty solid. You're getting decent shots in good lighting, and the 13 megapixel front facing camera handles selfies well. And here's the kicker. Samsung promises 6 years of Android updates on this device. The Galaxy A06 should be about 4 years, I think, and this is absolutely insane for a $160 smartphone. The battery life on this device is excellent too, and when it comes to charging, you have 25 watts charging support, just like the A06. The A16 is genuinely good value, but before you hit that buy button, let me tell you about the Galaxy A26. Now the Galaxy A26 at 368,500 Naira or $230 is where Samsung's 2025 strategy gets weird. On paper, it's clearly better than the Galaxy A16. You get a glass back with Gorilla Glass Victus Plus protection, IP67 water resistance, 120 Hz refresh rate for the display, and OIS on the main camera. The Exynos 1380 processor is significantly more powerful than what's on the Galaxy A16, and you can shoot videos at up to 4K in resolution. By the way, you get that 1280 chipset from Exynos if you're in Latin America. The cameras on this device are noticeably better, especially in challenging lighting conditions. Now here's my issue with this smartphone. That $70 price jump feels steep when you consider what else is available on the market right now. Now, when it comes to build quality, it's actually premium, and it feels like a smartphone that costs way more than that $230, although you still get this plastic frame on the smartphone. The camera improvements are real, and that OIS makes a difference for both photos and videos. Now, let's just circle back to the question. For just $70 more, wouldn't you rather go for the Galaxy A36? Or going in the other direction, is the Galaxy A16 good enough that you'd rather save that $70? See, the Galaxy A26 is a good smartphone that feels stuck between two better options. In fact, I'll say the best person to pick up this device right now is someone coming from, say, something like the Galaxy A15. By the way, if you're loving this video so far, do not forget to like, share, and also subscribe to this channel as it helps us a bunch. Thank you. Okay, at 460,000 naira, roughly $300, the Galaxy A36 represents a significant step up in the Samsung ecosystem. This is where you start getting features that feel properly modern. The big change here is that Samsung ditched their own Exynos chipset for Qualcomm's Snapdragon 6 Gen 3. In real-world use, this translates to noticeably smoother performance, absolute faster, multitasking doesn't stutter, and even some gaming becomes viable with this smartphone. You're getting the same 6.7-inch Super AMOLED display, but with 1900 nits of peak brightness. That's actually brighter than some flagship devices from years ago. Outdoor visibility is excellent with the smartphone. The camera setup gets an upgrade to include OIS, an 8-megapixel ultra-wide sensor, and a 5-megapixel macro lens. You also get this 50-megapixel main sensor, and video recording maxes out at 4K 30 FPS with pretty decent stabilization. For social media content creation, this is where things start getting properly usable. But here's one catch. From here on, you lose the micro SD card slots on these devices, but you gain stereo speakers from the Galaxy A36 and also the Galaxy A56. Also, this plastic frame still feels budgety when you're paying $300. At this price point, you start comparing this device to better options out there in the market. This is a solid device, no doubt, but for $100 more, there's the Galaxy A56, which we should talk about right now. So finally, here's the Galaxy A56, and for 600,000 naira, roughly $400, this is Samsung's attempts to create a premium mid-range device, and honestly, they mostly succeeded. The build quality here is legitimately impressive. Glass front and back with Gorilla Glass Victus Plus, aluminum frame, IP67 rating, and this feels like a smartphone that could easily cost about $500 from some brands. Apple. The Exynos 1580 chipset brings some sort of flagship level performance to this mid-range smartphone. Gaming, heavy multitasking, content creation, this phone handles it all without breaking a sweat, mostly. Camera-wise, you're getting a 50-megapixel main sensor with optical image stabilization, 12-megapixel ultra-wide, and a 5-megapixel macro lens. But more importantly, the image processing is much more sophisticated. Photos look natural, video quality is genuinely impressive with 4K recording and good stabilization. Now there's 45 watts fast charging system here, just like the Galaxy A36, which is faster than Samsung's own Galaxy A25, which is honestly hilarious. You're looking at about 65% of charge in 30 minutes. So you get 6 years of updates on this device, all the latest One UI 7 features, and the build quality here rivals smartphones costing about twice as much. The A56 is genuinely impressive. Now, do I agree that the Galaxy A56 is a good phone? Yes, but there's always a but. At $400, you're approaching the territory where the Galaxy S24 FE or even a discounted S24 Plus become viable alternatives. And these other devices offer flagship cameras, better performance, and even more premium features. So after using all 5 devices extensively, here are the only 2 devices I'd actually recommend if I have to pick only from this list. My first pick would be the Galaxy A16. I think I should call it the budget champion here. At $160, this offers incredible value and solid everyday performance, making it perfect for most users who just want a reliable smartphone experience. It's not exciting, but it's exactly what most people need. My other pick is the Galaxy A56, the premium mid-range king here. If you can stretch to $400, then the Galaxy A56 delivers an experience that rivals smartphones costing much more. It might not be the best option out there, but this device stands a chance. But before you go out there and buy any of these devices, consider that at $300, you could get a Galaxy S23 FE, which offers flagship cameras and better performance than anything on this A series here. At $400, you can get a discounted S24 Plus or even the S24 FE, offering true flagship experience. So what do you think? Are you team A16 for value or team A56 for premium experience? Or are you considering something completely different? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and also do check out this video where I compared the Galaxy A36 against the Galaxy A56 here. Go check it out. See you in that video. Cuidado.